Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing a haircut. I have very fine and thin hair and I hope this tutorial will help you. So we're just going to be cleaning up the ends. When you have really fine and thin hair, you're going to get a lot of stragglers. I'm thinking of giving myself bangs, but that won't be until the end of the video, so make sure you stay till the end. You're going to need a couple duckbill clips, a comb, and obviously a cape. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to section off the front of the head from the back. So the front of the head is kind of like a T-section. Make sure that you get a straight line from the top to the top of the ear. I have very thin hair here. You're going to see that round of the head right there. So where the head rounds, you're going to take that entire section, you're going to turn it straight with your fingers pointing up to the sky, and you're going to cut straight down. This is going to give you face framing layers. This is my favorite haircut for fine hair. You can stop here and just keep taking the same layers down. See how that comes down? Like they just kind of cascade. One side of your head is always going to have more hair than the other side. So for me, that is my right side. I have less hair there. Now we're going to line it up. You're going to take a small section from the previous section, that's going to be your guide, and you're going to cut a straight line. Now I'm point cutting here. You can do a straight line, but where I'm not very dominant on that other side, it just feels a little bit awkward. So I just prefer to do point cutting because it just gives me a little bit more leeway and it's not going to look so chunky. Now lift the hair up again. You're going to take it straight out from the head and you're going to line it up. You're just going to keep lining up this line around the round of the head. If you want to go short, just keep the hair a little bit longer than you think you want, because you can always go back and take off more hair, but you can't glue your cut hair back on, because I see so many people cutting way too much hair. To keep it safe, just cut a little bit less. And then you want to measure the two sides to make sure that they're even. One side was longer, so I lifted it up and then cut off the excess. Take the next section. So you're going to take little 1-inch sections, and you can literally see where the old hair is and where the new haircut is. And you just keep going around the round of the head. You're pulling the hair forward so that the hair kind of stays long. Pulling the hair forward or over directing is meant to maintain the length in the back. Now you're going to take all of your hair. Now see how thin my hair is. If your hair is a little bit thicker, you can still use the same technique. But for me, I literally don't have a lot of hair. I just want to clean up the ends. If you have thicker hair, you do want to take thinner sections. For me, I can take massive sections and just keep lining them up because it doesn't really make a huge difference. But where you have thick hair, if you don't take proper sectioning, you will end up with a very choppy haircut, which is usually what I see on social media. I think that's the biggest mistake that people make. If you have very thick hair, you do have to take very careful sections. Now I'm going to pull my hair down so that it is parallel to the ground to make sure that the line is nice and clean and straight. Now you can see the layers are coming through. You can actually see them. I'm taking the section from under the crown section. See that horseshoe section? That whole section from under, like it's where it's thicker. A lot of us have thicker hair down here than we do on the crown and on the horseshoe section, but it doesn't get layered because it just kind of falls flat. So I want to layer this separately from the top of the head. Watch this back again just to kind of understand what I'm doing. You want to take that whole section and layer it separately from the top of the head, because what that's going to do is it's going to lift up the top of the head. I do want some soft face framing layers. If you feel like you don't have enough layers, you can always go back in and freehand it. So I do have a little bit of a curtain bang going on, but I do want to take it a little bit shorter. So I took that whole triangle section and I'm going to take it a little bit shorter. Just use the tip of your scissors. Make sure that your scissors are sharp. Get it from a beauty supply store. With the other side, you want to flip it so that it's easier for you to cut, because you can't really do the same way on both sides. You know what I mean? Like one side is always going to be dominant for you over the other side. Now I'm checking that both sides are even, and miraculously they kind of are, which is kind of great. Just take little chunks and just kind of feel it out. Now the bangs are looking good. The layers are looking great. You can stop right here, but I actually decided to color my hair. This looks so cute. I decided to use macadamia color. I'm not supposed to color my hair at home. This is like such a big no-no. It has a little bit too much ammonia for my taste. I'm using a permanent color with 5 volume developer, because that will just guarantee that you're going to be getting a deposit only, not a permanent color. If you do 20 vol, it's going to lift your natural hair color and you're going to get a very, very bad color. This is deposit only, and I just wanted to refresh my color. I love my red. I want to be so red. So just follow this sectioning if you're doing this at home. Get your roots on first. This macadamia color is very thick. You can put it on damp hair if you just want a very light refresh, but I wanted it to really grab, and my hair is super porous. So I know this about my hair, so that's That's why I did it dry. Preferably you want to wash your hair first with a maxi wash, like a detox wash first to remove all debris, dry it, and then apply the color if you really want your color to last. When we put hair color on damp hair or wet hair, it doesn't really catch on as much. It kind of, the water dilutes it. So now I'm just massaging all of the rest of the color into my hair. I didn't need to use the entire tube. I think I used like 20 grams, something like that. So now I'm combing it out because I want to make sure that all of the color is fully saturated and it's going from my roots to my ends, because nothing's worse than doing your own hair color at home and then realizing you have a massive chunk in the back that you didn't get. Make sure that you can feel it on your scalp, that it's cold all over when you apply the color. Now I just wait 20 minutes. After washing it and blow drying it, I realized I wanted to give myself some wispy bangs. So the best way to do wispy bangs is to shake your head and see what naturally falls in the middle. I have very, very little hair, but I do want to just give myself a bit of a face frame, and then just snip that bit off. You want to pull it down and snip off a little bit longer than where you want it to sit, because it will jump. For most of us, the hair does jump. Over directing the bangs to the other side also gives you a little bit more length. So if you're worried about your hair going too short, just over direct it to the other side. I love this look. I think it's so cute. This just looks like little Korean bangs, and it's really nice for people who have fine hair. Now I'm taking the next section, which is a little bit on the round of the head. You can literally see where the hair wants to sit. Like, hair generally just sits in kind of little families, little clumps. That's what you want to watch out for. You want to grab the hair that naturally sits where it sits and cut that. Don't try to force your hair to do something that it doesn't want to do. You can push it forward, push it to the sides, but ultimately, if you want to have really nice bangs, it has to sit naturally where it naturally lives, where it naturally grows. One side is going to flip for you a little bit easier than the other side. This happens a lot with my clients, unless you have a lot of hair and you can manipulate it. Cutting your hair on your own, you might find one side is a little bit longer or might be straighter than the other side, and that's totally fine. If you notice, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing hair from one side and lining it up to the hair from the other side, over directing it. So basically, the whole thing about cutting bangs is you just want to make sure that it sits properly and you're not cutting it too short. Now I'm taking it all forward and making sure that the ends are nice and blunt, because I don't want the ends to be too wispy, because then it just looks really choppy. I'm sculpting in a few layers because I want this to be more of a shaggy look. The back of my head, the nape of the neck hair is it's a lot thicker than the tops. To even out the density and make it similar, I am carving out a lot more layers on the inside of the hair so that it doesn't feel so heavy in comparison to the top. And that's it. These are my bangs and full hair color and haircut tutorial. I hope it helps. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.